Night, the city of Lagos waits a dog as all routes
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV
24-hour news station.
It's so good to have you join us on Core Digest this morning. I am Ebulomo Adekunle, and we're talking today's issue. We're talking basically about the state of the nation, and we are talking about our president's 2015 agenda. Jonathan and 2015, the gathering storm. Of course, we know our general elections will be holding come February next year, and we've had so many agitations as it concerns that. Some people have for long argued about the eligibility of President Jonathan to contest again in 2015. And of course, we know about the debate at the floor of the National Conference, arguing whether to elongate the tenure of the president to make it 6 years single term or make it 4 years and you can have a rerun a second time. But of course, as far as we knew before the end of the confab, it wasn't said that the tenure was elongated. And even during the debate, it was said that if there would be elongation of tenure, it would not, these people in the present administration would not be part of that provision. And now we have division among delegates, the northern delegates against people from the south on quite a number of issues, which we shall be discussing today. I'm not alone in the studio. As our guest this morning, we have Ray Ashinoe, a public affairs analyst. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning, viewers.
It's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
We're on our way to 2015. What is our journey going to look like? Actually, it has started. The remaining parts that we have.
If we want to look at it very well morally, I want to say that we shouldn't be talking about 2015 when we have a crisis, insecurity, health issues. I think what the president should be looking at much now is how to curtail the security crisis in Nigeria and also the health issues. So let him just put 2015 aside, because I think politics, leadership is about the masses. And if the masses is going through a lot and you're still talking about 2015, something is wrong somewhere here.
If we are not talking about 2015, I was saying because of the many issues we have as a nation, the country should stand still.
I'm not saying that, but as it stands now, you can see that there's a lot of, we should be able to see the dividend of democracy, which security is part of it. And we are not witnessing this administration. So this administration shouldn't be talking about 2015 when there is a lot of crisis on ground.
Okay, let's move to the... Okay, to get you right, are you saying that there shouldn't be election?
I am not saying there shouldn't be election.
Or it is this administration that should not talk...
Yes, they shouldn't be talking about 2015. I mean, this administration. Let's them be able to fix things that need to be fixed and let the masses enjoy the dividends of democracy. Because I know that President Jonathan has the right to contest as citizen of Nigeria. He has a right. But the issue is this: the people has given you a mandate of 4 years, and within these 4 years that will last by next year, you didn't even, the security, there's crisis here and there, that lapses all over, and somebody somewhere is still talking about 2015.
Like you said, that he has the right to contest in 2015.
Yes.
But some people in Nigeria would not agree with you. Like we have someone quoting the Constitution, and that is Jibrin S. Okutepa, an Abuja-based senior advocate of Nigeria, is of the view that the president is not qualified. And he actually stated some section of the Constitution, and that is 137, subsection 1B of the 1999 Constitution, saying that the president at any time for 2 previous elections shall not be qualified for subsequent election as the president of Nigeria. Based on this argument, do you think that the president is qualified or not qualified for 2015?
Now, what we should look at here, we look at the circumstances that brought him into government, which Yarodua, that brought him into leadership and the administration of Nigeria. From that administration, from that, you look at it that it is a health issue. And As a matter of fact, to me, I believe that the president is qualified to contest. The qualification of the president is not a matter to me at all because it is based on health issue. And we should not go into much of politics that we derail, that will not be in the benefit of the masses, that will not be in the benefit of the constitution of Nigeria. But if, as a matter of fact, that we agree, the people agree, people of Nigeria agree that this man has done well and want to re-elect him, on the aspects of the president, whether being qualified or not, I want to say this point blank, he's qualified.
Okay, but let's talk about the national conference. What is happening among the delegates at the national conference? A write-up was brought up to be the summation of everything that has been discussed. But now the Northern elders, especially delegates, Kumasi, was saying that at a press briefing that it is a sabotage. He actually accused the convert leadership of harboring a third-term agenda for President Goodluck Jonathan and other present political office holders with the introduction of a purported new constitution for Nigeria. We'll take a report now to get more information about what is happening at the moment among the delegates, and we'll be back in the studio.
The National Conference is gradually winding down after 4 months of deliberations. And now that the final report is up for consideration, the little cracks noticed during proceedings have widened. Delegates from northern Nigeria are kicking against what they describe as attempts to smuggle in what were not discussed. Sani Zoro is a delegate from the north. He is convinced that there is a hidden agenda that should not be tolerated.
My own impression is that some fifth columnists have infiltrated the conference, and that is why they brought this document, because they are so desperate on tenure elongation. Now what these politicians desperate on tenure elongation and third term want to do is to take advantage of that same judgment or ruling of the Court of Appeal to say, okay, President Jonathan, who would have spent 6 years next year in office and is probably bad, even though there is no determination by the court of law, but because there are people who hold the view that he has finished these 2 terms, having completed that of Erdogan and the one that was a fresh mandate by him, and therefore he cannot contest. So he can now come and say, oh, I am contesting on the platform of 2014.
But this southern counterpart say there is nothing like that.
There were specific allegations that we had recommended a single tenure of 6 years for the president. That is not true. Look at the document. We say 2 terms for 4 years each, as in the present constitution.
We have no one had asked us to seek a third or a third term for anybody. Like has been said, anyone that suggests this will be insulting us. Our report, with all the recommendations, should be placed in the public domain so Nigerians would understand what we've done, and they would then decide whether we've wasted their money and their time or we've given them an opportunity to build a new Nigeria.
Where there should be a subtraction, they subtracted. And the documents, a new document had now been produced. And there is nothing wrong. If somebody calls it a proposed draft constitution, we have nothing to hide. But that will bring a new change to Nigeria.
At least one delegate from the Middle Belt is with the South on this matter. He is convinced that delegates opposed to the final document have not studied it properly.
Even those who have expressed misgivings are not controverting the accuracy of the report by the Secretariat. Their concern is that they were not mentally prepared for the idea of a new constitution. And that reality was a bit shocking to some people, but that is actually the logical outcome of all our resolutions and decisions.
For now, the delegates are digging in preparation for what many fear may be a showdown. Conference chairman adjourned sitting to calm frayed nerves, but it remains to be seen if 24 hours are enough for the 2 contending groups to agree on the way out.
All right, thank you very much, Pius, there. Mr. Ray, you heard what is happening among the delegates. First, you've been monitoring this conference. Would you say there are hidden agenda in this whole issue?
It's like you trying to get an old clothes and putting an old clothes in a new clothes. This is a country that is highly divided, both in cultural, highly divided in ethnicism and religion. And we cannot be able to say that the delegates that are supposed to bring a new Nigeria, they would have put aside tribalism somewhere. Look at a new Nigeria. The reason why this conference is constituted is to have a new Nigeria, to have a fresh Nigeria. But the way I'm saying it right now is I would say that there is this normal traits that have been there for a while in Nigeria, and it's like you doing the same thing over and over again. At the end of the day, they confirm may not be able to get the real result why it's being constituted.
The question is, there are accusations of some delegates or the leadership of the confab having hidden agenda to bring into the draft what were not concluded at the floor, at the plenary before the break. Do you see hidden agendas in this whole thing?
Well, they have already denied it already that they didn't say that thing. So you will not be quoting somebody what is said, come out on the air and tell you that I didn't say this thing. You get what I'm saying now? So you won't say that they are having a hidden agenda. But as a matter of fact, I will say here that they know where it comes from. That somebody is saying that they should elongate their distance to 6 years. But here they have come on air and cleared the view that they are not part of this.
But then, are you then saying that it is just a mere plot by the northern delegate?
I would say that it's a mere plot. You say so?
No, I didn't say so. I'm asking you.
Yes, the way I'm saying it, if the northern delegates have said so, and these people have come out and tell you that they have cleared the air and said that we are not part of this, so definitely the northern delegate is trying to bring a kind of a crisis within the system.
But what do you see playing itself out if our delegates cannot come to a compromise?
That tells you that there's a problem. Because that tells you that this conference is meant to unify the country. And if we cannot unify after 100 years of the South amalgamating with the North, that means there's a problem.
Now that it has been, the Northern Elders Forum has given President Goodluck Jonathan the October ultimatum deadline that if these girls are not out by October, then he cannot enjoy the support of the North. Where do you see this going? Because it's 122 days rather, and these girls are not out.
I would say that it's a very big mechanism, very bad one, because those girls are facing through a whole lot over there. And you can quote it again that these girls are from the northern states. They are from northern states. Many of them are from the northern states. So you won't be able to quote them wrong by saying so, because they are the one that owns the children, and they know even that he wears a shoe knows where it pains him. So they are giving him as a leader that part of the reason why we elected you, cast our vote for you, is to be able to provide security. So they have rights to their security.
And given you feel they have the right to give the
I don't think they have the right to give the president.
Virus?
I don't think they have the right to give the president an ultimatum. No, not at all. Are you telling me that if the president, as a matter of fact, security of the country, everybody must put hands together and make sure that Nigeria is secured? But as a matter of fact, as the president's administrator, he is the one in charge. Where they are looking, what I'm looking at from here is seeing where he's having faults, where he's not putting things right. 100 and something days after, the children are still there. That means there's a problem somewhere.
But the defense headquarters just said that there are troops in Sambisa Forest. So do we see hope coming for Nigeria in that area?
Well, this is a country whereby we hope even in the midst of hopelessness. So we hope that by God's grace, they'll recover those girls.
Okay, now the Ebola virus that is confronting the nation, is it anywhere close to the president's fault? Should he be made to pay for this, considering how this whole issue came to Nigeria?
I say, when you are contesting the election, you are like the #1 citizen of that country. And if anything goes around, they will come back to you. So as the administrator, there are certain measures you need to put into order. Look at the man that left Nigeria to the United States. As of today, we're talking about 100 and something people suspected. a brother of Nigeria, within how many months? Just a month. So what will happen if this lasts for a year or thereabout? So as a matter of fact, I will also use this medium to ask the appropriate quarters that they should put their hands on the decks and make sure that this virus not spread, as a matter of fact.
Okay, let's move to the issue of elections. We're going to have general elections, and recently, starting with Ekiti and now Osun, we saw the deployment of troops. Matter of fact, in Osun State, it was said that over 73,000 troops were sent to Osun to have that kind of election. Do you feel Nigeria has enough resources, if it takes that much, for state election to conduct a general election come 2015?
Our election is, our politics is just growing up. And I want to commend the president for taking that wonderful measure. And I want to say this, I want to join other people that have said it already, that if PDP have won that election, they would have said that the president used a system, used those troops to win the election. But I must commend him at this point in time, because Nigeria is a country that we are just coming out of militarism. And the only thing Nigerian man hears is just the force. So as a matter of fact, if the INEC and the presidency can be able to put in measures, because the fact is this, when you get legitimate government, the government is legitimate, voted by the people, definitely you will see what they will have. The person will have a support of the people, and when a government has the support of the masses, definitely things will go well. So whatever it costs the Nigerian citizen or the presidency to make sure that Nigeria have a credible election come 2015, it should be put in.
Do you feel Nigeria has enough resources?
Of course we have enough resources. If we have enough resources to celebrate 100 years of Nigeria, so we should have enough resources of things that really matters to the nation itself.
Okay, if you feel Nigeria has enough resources, we heard last week and we even saw in the news where the indigenes of Goza had to take their protest to the government house because the militants, the insurgents Boko Haram, have placed their town under siege for a matter of days. Matter of fact, when the reportage came, they've been there for 4 days.
Okay.
And according to those residents, there were no military presence at all. And when they got to the government house, one of them was even shot by a government security man. So now, if our borders, if our geography, the land space we have is not being protected, how do you then justify what you said that we have enough resources come 2015?
We have enough human resources. All we need to do is to put that human resources right. We have to put it right. It is not goals that will go and stop this. And I believe that the problem with this nation is administration, is leadership. Or what we need to do is to put it right. Asking whether we have human resources is wrong. This is the same Nigeria that went to Liberia. And I said Liberia when they had crisis in the country. The same Nigeria that was here and all over different nations in West Africa. And we have to curtail things. So why can't we do it in our own system? So
that's
this is
the question we're asking.
This is not about the resources. It's about the administration. We should put this thing different. There are difference between the administration here and the resources. Talking about resources, Nigeria have more than enough just to do what? To put this thing aside.
So are we saying we have 73,000 troops for each of the states of the nation to carry out the 2015 general elections?
We don't need that much. All we need is the technicality. I remember when this man was contesting election, he said something that he just needed some few policemen. All we need is technicality. We don't need that crowd. Get troops that have bad patriotism in them, that has Nigeria at heart, that can deliver, that are resources to the nation, and you get election being done credibly.
So come 2015, what do you feel, aside from bringing people, because we had we have another report, I don't know if we can have it, where Tude Bakare and Odumake were commending the president that it took that number of security personnel to have a free election without bloodshed. Now, if you're saying we don't need resources, we don't need that much or that many soldiers or military...
What we need is patriotism.
Patriotism.
Troops,
on whose part?
Now, I want to say this to you, that when it comes to football, that's what we call fair play. And the president have really done that. And what he was trying to do in Ekiti State is to show the adumbre of what will happen in 2015. And that shows you that 2015, we are looking forward to a credible election in Nigeria.
Okay, talking about the credibility and the intentions, some have alleged, okay, like we had Obanikoro, the Minister for Police in Osun State, who people have said is partisan.
So how partisan is he? If the same PDP lost election in the same state that Trip were, so it's not about partisan here. We should not be sentimental in issues. The president was looking already. Nigeria have already gotten security crisis already, and the president here is. Listen to me carefully. When somebody does things that is okay, commend him. Don't be partisan here.
The question is, should there be any partisan politician controlling security personnel in any elections at all?
Well, I believe that the minister is a minister of defense, and he's doing only his job. Let's leave the fire that face from PDP angle. But he's just doing his job as defense minister. And if anything goes wrong, I'm not speaking for him, but if anything goes wrong, the Nigerian people will still hold him responsible. We have had enough bloodshed. Nigeria does not need bloodshed any longer. Let's curtail it.
Now, moving to President Goodluck Jonathan and his 2015 ambition. The man has not said himself that he's coming back in 2015. We are talking about the 2015 elections.
Okay.
Now, with the stance of the president, are you saying, or do you see him coming out to say, I'm coming out in 2015?
I want to say this to you. Thank God you come out to that way and say the man has not even declared. He has not even said anything about it. It's just Nigerians are just disturbing themselves here and there. But as a matter of fact, I would say that with the little he has done in the Ekiti State, he's facing security. You want to see that this bloodshed must be over. So as a matter of fact, let Nigerians, let people be more of patriotism than being partisan.
Analyzing this present administration, analyzing it critically, should this administration, or well, do you feel as a person, and considering the president's person and personality and what this administration has stood for, the achievements, considering the transformation agenda, without all the security issues, do you feel this present administration is fit to move Nigeria on come the next election?
On my own part, I want to say this to you, that if you acquire everything and you have no security, the whole thing is nonsense. Life is the first thing. And except if there's a miracle before 2015, I would say, yes, this administration have done it well. But even though you acquire roads, acquire everything, and there's no security, there's a problem somewhere.
But some opinions in some quarters have said that security issues are not peculiar to Nigeria.
Yes, it's not peculiar to Nigeria, but this one has come, it has become so it's going to become a big problem to Nigeria. And this is one of the most populous black nations on the earth. So if I say the peculiarity of security, this is the worst. You calculate how many people that the Boko Haram have killed in just less than how many years. So this is the worst. This is a world record.
And how do you feel it should be best tackled if you feel the administration is not handling it well?
Yes, they have the mandate of the people. Let them use the resources they have on ground, both finance, human resources, everything, and technicality to tackle the case. Put aside partisan, put aside ethnic understanding, put aside tradition, put aside religionism, and tackle the case. Let the people have dividend for the democracy they are going to vote for.
And we can see so many games playing themselves out ahead of the 2015 elections. We've had these rumors recently that Nuri Badu might be defecting to the PDP, and as it concerns the Adamawa governorship election that is to hold. What is your say? What is your opinion about
Everybody have the right to contest, to fight for one position or the other. Nuri Badu have his own listing. I want to say this, the PDP is not a problem. It's a political platform. Anybody have his right to pick a platform and run on that platform. So the platform is not a problem. If Nuri Badu is a credible candidate that have credibility and integrity, definitely he can lead the administration of that state well.
We're talking about the ideology of political parties in Nigeria, how it has become easy to move from one party to the other.
Well, looking at it from that perspective, you're going to say this, that I will put that to the administration of the party itself. That's why I said that leadership is the problem. You can't be in a place that you know that you can lead well. All of a sudden, you're just being swapped off when you know that that mandate is meant for you. So definitely you have to deflect. You have to leave. You move to the next level. So to me, I don't have a problem with it. But the issue is that if you're moving without a very wonderful ambition for the people, definitely that is where it's wrong.
We're talking about clear-cut ideologies now, not personalities or the party itself. What makes a party different from the other?
Well, to Nigeria, I want to say this. There are different, every party has its own different ideology. Have its different ideology, one they want to achieve. So what
do you feel political parties in Nigeria have ideologies?
Yes, they do have ideology, but the problem here is that they have one ideology. I must be frank with you. They have this one ideology. Let's go out there, let's have the mantle, and let us embezzle money. That is just one ideology. So we need to have political parties or that we reform and say that the reason why we are there is to make sure we give the dividend of democracy to the people.
Okay, all right. It's been Ray Ashinawe on the program this morning, and we're talking about Jonathan and 2015, the gathering storm. We'll take a break and we'll bring you the news on the hour, after which Core Digest will continue. Thank you for being there.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Until the end of our time, I'm the legitimate authority to govern this country.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on OTV News.